YouTube, it's Mr. Mean coming at you from Duluth, Minnesota. It's about 9:20 p.m. this Saturday evening, February 9th. All is well. The kid is in bed. The wife made a fantastic soup with lots of meat in it. Life is good. I am re-recording this video of Delve. I don't know what happened. I don't know why it's not playing nice, but for whatever reason, I posted it to all the normal places I post, and everybody said, oh man, it's really echoey. And I don't know where the echo is coming from, but I just did a test video, and everything came out fine. Had to close the little screen there, so we're going to redo the video and maybe pick up some things I might have missed in the other video and whatever. But this is Delve. It's by Feral Games, Inc., my good friend over there across the pond in merry old England. This is the second edition. This is a fantastic game. If you saw the other video and the echo didn't bother you, there's no need to watch this one. But if you do, like and subscribe. It helps me out. You can support the channel by going to Zelle.com, ZELLE.com, and you can send a donation. I'm not doing PayPal. I'm not doing Patreon anymore. I don't like where that company's heading, and I don't like the fact that it takes so long to transfer money. Zelle, I mean, there's no fee for you, there's no fee for me, and I get the money in under an hour usually. I think one guy took like 2 hours to get it to me, but still, it comes out of your bank account. It's directly from your phone app. Everybody's using phone apps nowadays, so Android or iPhone. So it's usually inside your bank app, and it'll say send money with Zelle. So anyway, if you care to support the channel and help provide all this fun stuff, shoot me a donation. It's totally voluntary. I appreciate it. Some of my viewers transfer order from Patreon, and they just set up an automatic payment every month to go out. So whatever you can afford is awesome. I appreciate it. It goes back into the channel to help out. But James Gantry over at Feral Games Inc. sent me this lovely hardback book. It looks like it's a print on demand from Drive-Thru-RPG. It is glue bound. I don't think there's any stitching in there. I'm not sure if you can see that or not. But the book is well put together. It's hardback. It's very nice. As you can see on the screen, I have a PDF copy of it as well. James was nice enough. So just full disclosure, this was sent to me free. James asked me to check it out. He didn't ask me to do a review. He just sent it to me out of the graciousness of his heart. This was a surprise. I didn't know this was coming. So he had sent me the PDF quite a while ago, and I just, for whatever reason, I forgot to do a review of it, and I apologize, James. But I got the hardback, and it was a nice treat. He told me he was sending me something, but he didn't say what it was. And this showed up in the mail last week, and of course I did the earlier review, but again it was echoey, and I apologize. So if that one annoyed you and you couldn't watch it, watch this one. Hopefully you'll get the gist of the game, and this will help you decide whether or not this is something you want to pick up. It is available on Drive-Thru-RPG. Let's see here if I can find it. Of course I went ahead and deleted it, of course, like a dummy. But it's easy enough to get it back. And we'll see what it is up there on Drive-Thru-RPG. Or Drive-Thru-RPG. Blah, blah, blah. And we'll search. There we go, Feral Games Inc. You can find all their books. Ghost Op is up there. Ghost Op is really good. Man, so let's see here. We've got Delve. We have a plethora of options. We have a hardcover book color for $30.99. We have a softback color. I can't talk tonight. $16.99. Hardcover color book standard heavyweight for $24.99. And then your various iterations of the PDF with the copy of the book, and the prices range from the same thing. And you can get the PDF if that's your thing, which I recommend picking up the PDF, and if you decide you like it, well, actually, after this video, hopefully you'll decide to pick up the hardback heavyweight premium and the PDF for the same price, $30.99. And then they ship it out to you. I've had good luck with their stuff. Everything I've bought from them has held up and been really nice, so I enjoy it I recommend Drive Through RPGs. Shameless plug. They're the best on the market next to Amazon. If I want it straight from the publisher, or I want it, within 2 days, and it's on drive-through, I get it. Or excuse me, if it's on Amazon, I get it on Amazon. If it's not, then I get it from Drive-Through RPG and their print on demand, which is a phenomenal service. Delve, I don't believe, is on Amazon.com. It's a small it's a small publisher and a small game, but it should be, and hopefully one day it will be. But for right now, you can pick it up on Drive-Through RPG. I'll make sure I put a link down in the doobly-doo, and then we'll go from there. So let's get on back over here. So, like I said, the physical book, the art, we'll go through everything in the PDF because it's pretty much the same. But I do own the physical book. I really enjoy it. It's a quick read, man. We're talking. There's a blank page for notes. 122 pages. That includes GM sheet or character sheet, which you can also download from Drive-Through RPG. And there's an adventure and another file on. Let me see. Let me go back here. Sorry, guys. I'm all over the place here, but I want to give you the right information. Let's see here. I downloaded everything that they have. So there's the Castaway's Guide to Crag Barren, which is a PDF. There's the character sheet, and then there's the Delve map. You can get all those off of Drive-Through RPG. But what we're going to do is we've already looked at the book. We know the book is beautiful. The art is very consistent. We'll go over it when we scroll through the sheet here. I've got this. One of my viewers pointed out that Foxit and Adobe Acrobat and all the other PDF viewers will do a dual page layout. So that's what we did. So I'm a little bit smaller down there in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, but I wanted to let you guys see it. So dungeon exploring fantasy RPG. So to me, Delve fits that niche between the grim darkness of Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, 1st, 2nd, 4th edition. We don't mention 3rd edition from Fantasy Flight. It's Abomination Against Man, never to be mentioned ever again by Mr. Mean. And D&D 5th edition. There's some cool aspects of both. It's like those two games came together and they had a bastard child, and it was Delve. And I mean that in a good way, like Jon Snow, bastard child, good way. It's really well done. I think Feral Games hit it out of the park. The art is evocative. If you just want a simple dungeon crawl game, if your D&D game or your Warhammer game or your GURPS game, whatever fell through, and you want a quick, easy game that you can run in an evening, this is the game. It's real simple. The math in here, the character creation is super easy. And you can be up and running real quick. So, table of contents, we got Shipwreck. There's an opening little fictional piece, which is actually pretty good. Quick creator versus the advanced creator. We'll look at those. Choosing a class. All this is super simple. Into the Caves is your basic rules. Welcome to Crag Barren is where all the meat of it starts. That's where you start learning about this world, Wreckhaven, City of Stench, the city, the tunnels, and then it goes into a full-on bestiary, which is very cool. So we're not going to go page by page, but I got this dual page open, so I wanted to use it. So we have the Shipwreck here, which is a little bit of fiction, and basically it's I can't think of the name of the video game, but there's a video game that's kind of a Diablo clone, Grimdark. I think it's called Grimdark. Grimdark. Anyway, and I meant to do this in the other video, and I spazzed it as well, so I apologize, guys. But anyway, it's that game. It basically reminds me of that game as a role-playing game because it's not quite as dark as that video game, though. That video game is pretty dark. But this is neat right here because it says, okay, so this is where we learn stuff. I hope you're ready for this. Delve uses dice, mainly 2d10s. They do use d8s and d6s, I believe, as well. d8s for a lot of the weapons. But you're using mainly d10s for initiative and then percentile for just about everything else. So you basically wake up on a beach from a shipwreck. You don't know where you are. And you get to roll a D100 3 times on this chart right here to figure out what you have in your pockets. I think that's pretty cool. And there's yeah, obviously a bunch of different stuff. A small bottle. What's in it? It could be a healing potion. Who knows? Although there is a potion of healing, so maybe that's a small bottle is just literally an empty bottle. Holy symbol. I mean, it's cool. It's just very evocative and sets the tone of the game. Now this is what I thought was clever. Your attributes. There's 5 attributes in Delve. These are dexterity, endurance, learning, vitality, and empathy. And coinky dink enough, they spell Delve. How clever. That's clever, guys. Come on. That's pretty cool. So your quick character creation, you just read through it and you do what it says. It refers you to the other sections, but it's everything's just quick and dirty. And then you have the more advanced character creation, which is right here. Oops. My screen is going wonky on me. There you go. So you roll for your race, or you can choose. A lot of these charts are optional. You don't have to roll on them. You could just choose depending on how quick and dirty you want it to be or how random you want it to be. But I like that. We have our standard races. We have elf, dwarf, halfling, half elf, half orc, and human. Pretty cut and dry. All your background information. All the races can use magic. Some are better at it than others. Dwarven races, which I think is awesome. And they get all of their cool stuff. Halfling. So again, there's some appearance table. Some of it's negative, some of it's good. I think it's very cool. It gives you all your attributes and other stats. So your endurance, it's a percentile based system. So you get, in this case, if you're playing a gnome, I think it's or halfling, you get plus 10 to endurance. Your hit points equal your vitality base times 3. Encumbrance is equal endurance base times 3. Magic points are 4, and your pace is 20 because you're small. The default pace in the game is 30 feet. So, and it just goes from there. Everything in here, half elf. I mean, it just goes through the races. The art, like I said, is pretty good. I like it. It's consistent throughout the game. I do like the barbarian or the human. That's a human, but I'd call it a barbarian. It's pretty cool. Whatever that wicked looking hammer is, I don't want to get hit with that. Anyway, the following table is optional. Again, each race has this. You're leveling up. It goes through choosing a class and your skills. The neat thing about skills that they do, let's go back and look at that. On your character sheet, you'll have a chart. Basically almost like this, except it'll be a bunch of check marks. All your skills will be listed here, and then under each one of these tabs, and I think it's just the first letter of each one, so it'll be untrained, known, trained, expert, and master. It tells you if you're untrained in a skill, you roll at it based off of whatever your attribute is at a minus 20%, and you go on for there. So skills are pretty neat. It's pretty simple. There's the basic list of skills. And certain classes get certain skills, and it'll tell you when you go into the class. So we're looking at the mage here. That's a great picture right there. I really like that. The witch, or the mage. No, that's the witch, I believe. Is it the witch? Yes. So each class has 2 subclasses in it. So under the mage, let's go back. You have the mage and you have the witch, I believe. Let's go back here. It's kind of, this view is throwing me off, but there's your standard mage. And then the next one is, I believe it's the witch. So there's the mage. Yeah, because remember, we're going left to right here. And then the next one is the witch. Yeah. And then, of course, it starts the rogue. So you have mage, rogue, and in your rogue, you get a rogue, and I believe it's a hunter. Thief. You get the rogue and the thief. And you see your leveling up bonuses here. And it'll only go to character level 10. Again, the art is evocative of the game and the genre. And then the warrior, which you get the warrior and I believe the hunter is the backup. The fighter. And let's see, what's the next one? The hunter, yeah. So I'm not liking this view. It's too jerky for me. Then also, once you've made your character, you've woken up on the beach, you got the 3 things that you found in your pockets when you woke up on the beach. Now you get to roll, and you get to roll 3 more times, percentage based, and you get any of these items. So it could be good. You could get a great sword. Now, if you're a mage and you pull out a great sword, But here's the cool part: you can swap with the party members. It's not like you're locked into this stuff. So again, very flexible, easy percentile game system. Only 10 levels in a game. You get hit points, you get magic points, depending on your class. The races are another cool piece of art. The races are basically the thing. But the other thing that this game, remember, this game is called Delve. So most of this game is underground. And there's rules and mechanics in here for lighting the way. So a torch is going to last X amount of hours and or rounds. A lantern is going to last a little bit longer. A candle is going to be somewhere in between those two. So it's pretty cool how they do it. And then there's a chart you roll, and then there's things like wind. Obviously, if you have a candle or a torch, wind is your nemesis. But if you have a hooded lantern, then you don't care about it. So it's pretty cool. The first obstacle, they talk about it. Hunger is another thing that they have basic mechanics for. Here's your modifiers for the GM. So when you're making your rolls, environmental darkness, because remember you're playing underground. So this is literally a kick open the door, kill the monsters, take the treasure. So if you saw my review on Rune a couple weeks ago, this is akin to Rune. I'd say same skill level of the game. GMing Rune is a little bit different because it's a round-robin GMing style. Every player takes a turn GMing, whereas in this one, you could probably do the same thing and just give someone half the experience that everybody else got for, if you're running the game and another person wanted to GM. You could do the same thing. Obviously, it would work. But it's a percentage-based system. I like percentage-based systems myself. I like chucking dice. I don't like chucking a ton of D6s for whatever reason, but I like percentage-based systems. So your initiative is just basically the first letter of your percentage is 34. Their initiative is 3, and then they roll a D10. So you basically take the first, the ones digit of your dexterity and add a D10 to it, and boom, there you go. Actions, every character gets 3 actions. This is another thing I liked. Pathfinder 2nd Edition is doing this. Perhaps they stole it from Delve. Who knows? But I really like this. I like that you have an economy of motion. You get a move action, you get a reaction, and you get an action. It doesn't appear that you can swap those up. That's what you get. So if you choose not to use a reaction, or if you're further back in the party and you're not close to anybody, you may not get a reaction. But like if you're the archer and you see a wizard, the evil goblin wizard starting to cast a spell, you can use your reaction and maybe shoot him. So you've got some flexibility here, and I really like that. And there's critical successes and critical fumbles. And these are all basically everything you can do in combat. Your called shots, your mounted combat, firing into melee, which I like that they address that. A lot of games kind of forget about it. And it's like, what do I do? And they got parry and dodge, which that's where your reaction comes into place. If you're getting attacked, physically, you can use a parry or a dodge. And it talks about it. Stealth attacks. Little GM section to kind of give you an idea of how the mechanics work. Armor and shields is pretty good. If your damage from the spike club is 7 and you are wearing armor with a value of 3, the damage is reduced by 4. So obviously armor subtracts from damage, and then whatever left through goes to you. Great piece of art right there. That's one you don't see too much, and I really like that. Sleeping it off, injuries, healing wounds, magical healing. I mean, we go through everything here. They talk about, 0 wounds, and then it goes right into Welcome to Cragbaron. Cragbaron is the first kind of city that you find, and there's a basic little stuff in here about a setting adventure and stuff. So there's a rule summary for character creation and everything, which is nice. Your attributes, your race, your class, search the beach, lighting. Hunger. Really, really cool for hunger. Every day you go without eating and drinking, you lose 5% from all your attributes until you eat. That's pretty harsh. Opposed rolls and critical rolls. So nice little rules summary there on page. It doesn't have the page numbers. This must be a glitch with the PDF where it's not showing the bottom of it. But we got a nice little map. Just everything you need. It's a very self-contained game. Cool art, like I said, events, all kinds of stuff. What you need, your events, how much experience you get. I mean, it's comprehensive little game. There's bartering. There's things to do in downtime. How to get magical armor, crafting. I mean, for such a 122-page book, they have packed a lot of stuff in here. And I was speaking with James today, and he was talking about doing a redo of this game to update it. And he was talking about Zombie Squad. Zombie Squad is also, go back in the archives, watch my review on Zombie Squads, because that game's a hoot, and you should play it. It's a fun game. It's a nice digest-sized game, decent size. The art's pretty cool. I like the layout of the book, but go check it out. Go check out my review of Zombie Squad. It was the first game of theirs that I reviewed. Your armor table tells you everything you need. So let's skip on ahead here. We're about halfway through the book. Like I said, the art is extremely consistent. They did a good job. I like that. It's like, is that a mage? Is that a scribe? It looks like some sort of mage, and he looks very crotchety. Is he a dwarf? I think he's a dwarf. Might be a gnome. He looks a little heavy to be a halfling, but you never know. It's got pointy ears. Awesome picture right there. I don't know what it is. I don't want to run into it, but definitely something you could use in your game. So very cool art, and of course, being a PDF, you can take the art out of it. A wizard's duel, all the spells and everything, first level magic spells. It's really simple, really easy to do. Lightning bolt. The caster sends a lightning bolt 40 feet, causing 5d6 damage to a single target. It's pretty cut and dry. You got your mana points, how much it costs. Obviously, you've got. I like the fact that you have a mana point. A lot of people don't like keeping track of mana points, but it's basically the same thing as spell levels. D&D, you have a number of spells that you can cast per slot. Once you spend a slot, it's gone until you take a long rest. This is kind of the same thing. It's just, I've found it easy. You take a D20 or 2D10, you put it in front of you with the number you have. Some people use poker chips or glass beads or whatever, and you keep track of your mana points that way. And when they're all gone, they're gone. Or, if you put your character sheet in a plastic sleeve, you could use a dry erase or a wet erase marker, and you can do it that way. You could use poker cards, and you have a number of cards equal to how many spells with a cool image on the back, and you can just use that cool. Bicycle makes super awesome poker cards with every kind of flavor you could want. So you could get a good fantasy based or a dark fantasy or a dungeon set and have cool, just use the back of the cards and you have 10 mana points. So you deal out 10 cards. Every time you use a spell, you subtract that many cards, and you've got a physical representation. So you could use glass beads, you could use tokens, you could use dice, whatever works. You can just mark little chits on your character sheet, whatever. But it's really well done. It's all your basic tropes of spells, water walk. It's awesome when you're in caverns. And there's just witch spells. So the spells go from, I believe, first level to 5th level, and every other level you gain a new level of spells. So first level, you're gonna have your first level spells. Second level, you won't get any more spells, you'll just get more mana points. Third level, you get access to second level, so on and so forth, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. If I am, correct me down in the notes. There's a timeline getting there, all the basic information for the GM, enough to actually run. There's an adventure here with a nice map. This would easily, you could cut and paste this and bring it into Fantasy Grounds. I've got a new group here in town I started playing Magic with every other week, just for something different to do. And they've expressed interest in running an RPG, and I'm going to run Delve for them because I think it's quick and easy. It's not rules heavy. They're new to role playing, so this would be a great introductory game because it's not heavy rules mechanic, and the book is relatively cheap. So they can get the PDF and print it out and then copy it. It'll be easy. Here's the bestiary. This is the cream of the crop and the butter of the game. Level attributes, mana, hit points, basically tells you. The art is, that's fantastic. All the kind of different critters that you can run into, and like I said, it's very well done. So what do we got here? A basilisk, a blink hound. The art definitely has a very cool theme, but all the creatures kind of, that's creepy. I don't care what you say. Chaos beast. Here's a chimera. I mean, all your classic fantasy tropes. An Eton, a dragon. The dragon, I will say, the art for this is a little wimpy, but the flip side is you're on a small island. Well, it's not small. It's a decent-sized island, but it's a cave system, so maybe there's not a whole lot. It's a level 10 beast. You don't want to run up against this unless you're serious. One of the things I did not see in here, and I may have missed it, and I'm going to give this a better read-through when I'm getting ready to run it for this new group, is I didn't see any kind of way to, or anything about balancing encounters. Like, so how many creatures does it take to fight a level 10? How many player characters does it take to fight a level 10 monster, like such as a dragon, which is like, the top of the list there for bad guys. And then you got to take that all in. The harpy, it's just nasty. Goblins, I love their take on goblins. I'm a huge fan of Paizo's goblins, and these are very similar, and I like it. Special ability, annoying. This is just perfect. 26 hit points, 0 magic points. I don't know what PT stands for. I didn't see that. GM should feel free to create whatever type of goblin you like using the creating monster rules on page 92. We saw that. We kind of skimmed through it real quick, but you can create your own monster. So if there's something in here that doesn't actually fit what you want, you can create it. Again, percentage-based system, so all their attributes and their abilities right there. Skills, percentage-based. Dagger, D6 causes bleed. There's rules in the game for different enhancements on weapons like bleed and all the poison and all that. I mean, just the Minotaur, so cool. Mound horror. I mean, your classic D&D tropes. What is that? A night wraith. Don't want to. The ogre, I thought, looked menacing. That just looks brutal. And again, that's a level 6. Stupid is its special ability. Normal damage +3. So if he hits you with that big sword, it's gonna hurt. So again, like I said, just all your classic monsters: ratlings, shriekers. Let's see what else we got in here. Tentacle horror, the troll, that looks like a troll to me. Gnarly. Does it say weakness? Stupid and berserk. It doesn't say anything about that they're susceptible to fire, so it just may be a normal troll. Most trolls, I mean, this is GM trope. You can add that if you wish. The zombie is pretty sweet picture. Shoulder bone hanging out. So stupid, fearless, and diseased. And obviously there's traits, there's things in there. But here's the character sheet. Again, pretty simple. There's your attributes. There's your starting information up here. Pace. I think that PT was pace. But then here's your unknown, knowledge, talented, so on and so forth. And then you just check mark which one you have. You're going to get a list of skills when you start your character. You write your weapons in with their damage effects. There's a crib sheet here real quick. And that's it, man. That is the game. I mean, cool art on the back. It gives you basically the synopsis that I gave. It's very, just really well done. Very simple character sheet. It would be neat to see someone take this and maybe put like a picture of a goblin or one of the barbarian, just to do some different character sheets with like a watermark in the background. That would be kind of cool. I might even go and do that. I don't know. I like that they give you kind of like the NPC sheet or the crib sheet at the end. Right here. Delve. Oh, that's like a crib sheet. Like you could use that for your monsters or whatever. And that's easy enough to import into Word and just, make a bunch of things. There's your spell sheet, your armor, your gear, traits and abilities. I mean, it's you print that front to back, you're good to go. So that is Delve. And like I said, super quick game. Awesome art. Let's change the view back to single page. Does it? Let's go back. There we go. That's what I was looking for. And let's go here and then let's go fit well. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Man, I can't fit with. There we go. So that's Mr. Mean's thoughts on Delve. I think it's a cool game. You guys should check it out. Drive Through RPG. Pick it up for as little as $13 for the PDF. You've got everything in here you need. There's no other books to buy. There's a nice map. There's the Craig Barron PDF that you can pick up. But you don't have to get those. This is everything you need in one game. It's a one-stop shop. It's only 122 pages. That's about 60-something pages to print out on your own. 67 pages, 65 pages, something like that, front and back. So it's doable to print at home. You can print it black and white to save toner if you're on an inkjet. If you got a laser jet, you can just, and if you got a duplexer, it's even easier. So I think it's worth every penny, man. I would have bought it if I'd have known about it. This is one of Feral Games Inc.'s earlier games that they did, and then I guess they redid it as a second edition. I think it's neat. I think it's a great starting place if you want to bring kids into a game, because none of the art is too evocative. I mean, there's the harpy with the boobs on it, but you don't have to show them that picture. But I think it's a simple game mechanics that's elegant and will work, and it'll be fast. Savage Worlds, even though it's super easy, it can get a little complicated for the younger members. I've run it for kids before, and they get a little bit confused with like dice exploding and stuff. This is percent all dice. Kids know how to read that. It's pretty easy, so I don't think there'll be any problems. So this is, I think, is a really good game for younger people, or adults who've never played a role-playing game before, and you want to do a quick adventure or whatever. You can get them up and running. You can make a character in seconds, well, minutes, but you can whip out a character real quick, and your players can be playing it. You can do character creation. You can even get a wizard with his spells, and you're good to go. So I think it's definitely a buy in my book. I'm a big fan. You can see my bookmark. I'm eagerly reading it, like I said, and I'm gonna run it for my group as soon as we pick a date and decide what day we're gonna play. But I'm really enjoying it. I think it's very well done. I think it's quick, it's concise, it's easy to run, it's easy to play. There's not a lot of complications. And I mean, it's one book. I mean, you can easily pass this around between everybody. And I mean, you could $13 on a PDF. Everybody's got smartphones and tablets and laptops at the game table now. So pull this up on your tablet. I mean, I've got 2 tablets. I've got an old HP touchpad, and I've got my Nexus. I got my Amazon Fire 8-inch tablet HD. So I mean, I could put the PDF on those 2 and hand them out to everybody, and let those float around while I keep my book, and everybody could play this game easily. So Mr. Mean says it's a buy. Go check it out in the drive-thru. I'll put links in the doobly-doo. As always, please like and subscribe. It helps me out. If you feel the need to kick a few bucks my way, you can do a one-time donation through Zelly. Like I said, it's a mobile app on your phone. It helps out the channel. The money goes back into the channel. I don't use it usually to go buy groceries or anything. I use it to pay for more product and stuff. So, as always, peace and hair grease. And remember, Mr. Mean says be nice.